Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer, where we're going to unpack a fascinating, completely invisible war that is happening right now. We are exploring the local underworld of Glendale, Wisconsin. It's this relentless 24/7 battle between human infrastructure and the forces of nature, and it is taking place right beneath your lawns and right behind your drywall. So, what is actively trying to destroy your pipes right this very second? Okay, I know that sounds a little dramatic, but honestly, it is the absolute reality of homeownership in this region. Your home's plumbing system isn't just passively sitting there. It is constantly fighting against these relentless natural and historical forces day in and day out. And this brilliantly illustrates the year-round seasonal assault on Glendale homes. Think about it. Winter brings those brutal sub-zero temperatures that cause pipes to just freeze and burst open. Then spring hits with this rapid snowmelt, which leads to overwhelmed foundation drains and flooded basements. And finally, summer rolls in with severe thunderstorms that can cause massive storm sewer backups. It's just a continuous, exhausting cycle of stress on your infrastructure. Section 1. The Glendale Plumbing Battleground. Geography and History. You see, this battle is heavily shaped by Glendale's unique geography. Things like the clay-heavy shifting soil and the incredibly high water tables you'll find near Lincoln Park and the Milwaukee River. And that geography crashes right into the area's history. So many of those classic North Shore bungalows and ranch homes built between the 1940s and 1970s still rely on their original galvanized pipes. The problem? Those older pipes literally rust from the inside out. That restricts your water flow and can even contaminate your supply lines with rust particles. And under modern plumbing codes, you can't just patch these aging systems up. They must be completely replaced with modern materials like copper or PEX to actually ensure longevity and compliance. So how do you actually know if you're losing this battle? Well, here are the specific warning signs of a failing main water line. If your original infrastructure is starting to deteriorate, you might start noticing discolored or rusty water coming from the tap, or maybe just really low water pressure throughout the entire house. You've also got to pay close attention to your yard. Unexplained wet spots, or worse, actual sinkholes, are massive red flags that you've got an underground leak. And of course, if you're suddenly seeing higher than normal water bills without changing your usage, or you're dealing with frequent leaks, you need to take action before a catastrophic failure happens. Moving right along to Section 2, the intruders. Roots, rust, and ice. Let's talk about nature's primary weapon here, which is root infiltration. You know those absolutely beautiful mature oaks and maples near Nicollet High School or Kletzsch Park? Well, their roots are desperately seeking water and nutrients all the time. And they will actively hunt down and breach tiny cracks in your underground sewer laterals to get it. They absolutely love those older clay sewer pipes. Once they break in, they create these incredibly stubborn recurring blockages that can actually back up multiple fixtures inside your home all at once. 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep that number in mind. During those harsh, freezing Wisconsin winters, this is the absolute minimum thermostat setting recommended when you leave town. If you let the house drop below this, any exposed pipes in your unheated crawl spaces, garages, or exterior walls face a monumental risk. The water sitting inside those pipes will freeze, it will expand as solid ice, and it will split the pipes wide open. It's such a simple number, but it's really your first line of defense. Then we have the rust aspect of this underground war. Glendale has really hard water, which means it's totally packed with minerals. Over time, these minerals precipitate and create a layer of sediment that essentially cooks a traditional tank-style water heater right from the inside out. This hard water buildup destroys efficiency so quickly that it can kill a water heater unit in just 8 to 12 years. So if you're down in the basement and you start hearing rumbling sounds or you see puddles forming around the base of the tank, that is a glaring sign of imminent failure. Section 3, Anatomy of an Emergency. Let's look at what happens when the infrastructure actually gives out. So the crucial point is 60 minutes. When a burst pipe happens or a gas line leaks, this is the critical make or break emergency dispatch timeframe that professionals aim for. I mean, if you have standing water rapidly flooding your home in the dead of January, or you smell natural gas, speed is literally everything. Getting an expert, fully stocked truck on site within an hour is exactly what stops secondary property damage from completely wrecking your home. And hey, speaking of flooding, we absolutely have to talk about the sump pump. This little device is designed to pump accumulated groundwater straight out of your basement. If it fails, and that could be from a worn impeller, a stuck switch, or just a power outage during a massive summer storm, it leads to rapid flooding. We're talking about water destroying your furnace, your water heater, and all your stored memories in a matter of hours. For homes dealing with high water tables, especially during those heavy Wisconsin spring snowmelts, having a functioning sump pump plus a reliable backup battery system and high water alarms isn't just nice to have, it's absolutely vital.
Section 4. The professional repair process. This is the tactical defense. When the pros actually sip in, they use a specific 3-step process that brings a ton of psychological relief during a highly stressful emergency. Step 1 is immediate diagnosis. They bring in tools like sewer cameras and pressure tests to find the exact root cause. No guessing. Step 2 is upfront approval, and this transparency is a real game changer. You get a flat rate quote before any wrenches are even turned, which means you aren't sweating over unpredictable hourly rates that just keep climbing as a job drags on. And finally, step 3 is the completed repair, ensuring everything is fully code compliant and rigorously pressure tested.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how plumbers actually choose their tactics to clear those stubborn blockages we talked about. It generally comes down to motorized snaking versus hydrojetting. To demystify the jargon a bit, a standard snake is totally fine for clearing simple clogs, but the catch is it might leave some residue behind. Hydrojetting, on the other hand, uses extremely high-pressure water to completely obliterate heavy grease and severe root intrusion. It essentially scrubs the line clean all the way out to the city main, ensuring the exact same problem doesn't just pop right back up in a few months.
Section 5. Navigating codes and permits, otherwise known as your ultimate shield. Look, it is incredibly easy to view permits as just annoying bureaucratic red tape, but they are actually your shield against disaster. The gold standard we look at here is the Wisconsin Administrative Code SPS 382. This state code establishes strictly enforced standards for plumbing system design, freeze protection, and the exact materials that can be safely used in your home. On top of that, Milwaukee County enforces specific local amendments that are tailored directly to regional soil conditions and groundwater tables, along with regulations from the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. These are objective, neutral standards put in place simply to ensure that these massive underground systems are robust and safe.
So, what kind of work actually triggers this oversight? Well, legally speaking, you absolutely must secure a permit in Glendale for major projects like water heater replacements, any sewer lateral repair or replacement, gas line installations, fixture additions that might impact your drainage capacity, and of course, complete repiping projects. And this matters immensely. Skipping required permits or using unlicensed labor can literally void your homeowner's insurance claims if you get water damage. It can also completely derail a real estate transaction when it finally comes time to sell your home. Let's also set some totally realistic expectations on timelines here. How long do these infrastructure battles actually take to resolve? Well, a simple drain cleaning or a basic faucet replacement will take just 1 to 2 hours. Swapping out a dead water heater generally takes 3 to 4 hours. But if you're looking at a complete home repiping, that spans multiple days. And a sewer lateral replacement that requires heavy excavation, that can take an entire week. Plus, keep in mind that the incredibly deep frost depth during a harsh Wisconsin winter can significantly complicate and drag out those outdoor excavations. Which brings us to a final, really critical question. Is your home's hidden infrastructure actually prepared for the next deep freeze? Or are you just rolling the dice? Because every single season brings a new, relentless assault on your plumbing. By taking proactive maintenance steps like inspecting those aging clay sewer lines, upgrading an old water heater before it pops, and winterizing your exposed pipes, you can protect your home. Don't just sit around waiting for an inevitable, wildly expensive clash with Wisconsin elements. Knowledge really is your best defense here. Thank you so much for joining me as we explored this hidden underworld.